Sitting here outside of the United Healthcare bus at the start of the USA Pro Cycling Challenge, and I'm here with Jake Keough. And Jake, one of the fastest sprinters in the U.S., and you're starting to prove you're one of the fastest sprinters almost in the world, getting up to that, or trying to get up to that point. But take me back a little bit and tell me a little bit. You have a cycling family, and where did that come from?
Yeah, I appreciate the compliments. That means a lot. No, we basically started racing BMX bikes when we were 5 or 6 years old. When I was 5 or 6, and quickly my 4 younger brothers kind of all followed me into the sport. We dug dirt jumps, we raced BMX. My dad actually got into racing to push my brother Luke up some of the hills, and we kind of transitioned to cyclocross, and then found pretty quickly after one season that we needed to get some road fitness and kind of progress that way, and we all kind of enjoyed the road bike, and now 5 brothers and my dad all race road bikes.
I know Nick also did some mountain biking, and did you guys go down all that path also? I mean, did you guys do all the disciplines?
Not really. I've actually never done a mountain bike race. I love mountain bike riding, and we race each other all the time. But no, it basically went BMX, cyclocross, road, in that order. So.
And then when did you discover the speed that you had?
I think pretty quickly, like in the criterium racing, and I'm from New England, so there's a lot of good competition and racing with the McCormicks and stuff. I think coming from the BMX background, that criterium racing suited me well, and the sprint was kind of there immediately. You
were in Kelly Benefits for a couple of years, and you came to United Healthcare, and then really started flourishing really on the domestic scene, and I mean winning almost everything. What brought that about? Was it, how would you describe that transition took place for you to all of a sudden start winning all the time? I think
it was a pretty steady progression. I don't think I've really made a big jump anywhere. I kind of started racing on the road my very last year as a junior and just did a few races. So my first year as an under 23 was the first time I was racing in any kind of elite category. So I kind of went, my steps were essentially, top 3 in a local race. The next season was winning local races and maybe top 10 at some of the big crits. Next season podium at some of the crits, and then the next season winning the crits, and then progressing on to, I was able to win a road stage.
And with that progression, is there, can you tell us a little bit about, the experience level changing, your training changing? What other changes were there?
Yeah, I think training was the big one. I mean, coming from a BMX background, you do sprints all day and you hit dirt jumps, and you're always playing around. And then, as you progress into road racing, it's a little more structured. And criterium racing is speed, but you also have to do some road training, and then obviously for the road stages, it's big miles, it's experience. So.
When you enter into a race, if it's not obviously mountainous, do you expect to win?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, my climbing is my weak suit, so anything with a hill is tough for me, and I'm trying to progress in that front. But yeah, I try to win all the sprints we do.
In 2011, you had some success at some races. With Shanghai Lake, and this year Langkawi and Shanghai Lake again, seconds, thirds, thirds. What did it feel like for you to finally get the UCI win out of Utah?
Yeah, it was good. I think that's that progression, like I was saying. Like, I went from last year being kind of on the cusp on a top 5, in some of these big races, and then this year was sort of that podium, kind of consistent podium at the UCI races, and then yeah, at Utah was a good monkey off the back. It was a good feeling.
That was a big win.
Yeah.
Where do you see your direction? What's next? Are you interested in trying to get to Europe?
Yeah, that's the goal. I mean, we did a big block in Europe this year with United Healthcare. And for me personally, for the future, I want to be able to progress and win the bunch sprints at the biggest races, and Europe is where those races are at the moment.
So your dream, what would be your dream?
Yeah, I want to progress to a Pro Tour team and race at the highest level, and I think just pushing my own boundaries and trying to better myself in the sprinting area.
You've seen some of the other, not American sprinters, but guys that have raced in America and then gone over there. Have you seen anything that, I don't know, you need to kind of watch out for, or anything you've learned from that you might be able to use in order to help you be able to get that Pro Tour ride?
Yeah, I think for me, the progression through the U.S. domestic scene has actually been really good. I've been able to make steps kind of throughout my career using the U.S. racing scene and progressing to Europe as a winner, and learning to win at a smaller level and progressing to the bigger races. So I think taking that winning mentality from the U.S. and try to bring that over to the bigger races and continue that drive is important.
The UCI win obviously was a big win, and I've said to really get attention you need to repeat that. We're here at the Engine Tour of Colorado. Maybe not the ideal race with all the hills, but how important is it for you to be able to do something this race?
Yeah, I think there's a few opportunities, and we're kind of riding a bit of a wave here after a good Tour of Utah with the team, and to pull off a good result here would be really important.
How important?
How do I answer that? I don't know.
Any way you want to.
Yeah, no, I think it would be
golden.
I think it would be exactly. It would be golden. No, I think it's good. Like you said, to especially in the sprinting, second place, unfortunately, is the first loser. So I think to win another big UCI race is huge. That's the progression we need to go.